Hi, moms. Convention of States Michigan is here for you. Welcome to TimeOut with COS Moms. My name is Kelly Olfert, and I am a COS mom. So go ahead and join me. I am a volunteer with Convention of States. I am a mom of 2.5, and I am a district captain for Convention of States. So go ahead and join me. Grab your tea, your coffee, your latte, your cocktail, whatever time of day you happen to be watching this video. It's time for your timeout. So we spent the past couple of weeks introducing Article 5 and what Convention of States is all about, how the National Convention of States Action Project is tirelessly working to bring an Article 5 Convention of the States to fruition and what that actually means and what an Article 5 convention is. So now it's time to actually walk it out. I want to be able to actually take a few minutes to just explain to you what it is that I'm talking about. So moms need to know what these next steps are. What this actually is. What does this new routine look like? What does this kind of scheduling process look like? And do I need to bring the diaper bag? Rest easy, ladies. You don't need to bring the diaper bag for this one. The National Convention, this convention, Article 5 convention, has already been laid out for us. All we have to do is learn it and understand it so that we can help our kids, our families, our communities, our churches, our workplaces to be able to understand it as well. There's 5 steps to holding an Article 5 Convention of the States. Broke it down for you, 5 easy steps. First step, we need 2/3 of the states to pass resolutions. This is 34 states in the United States of America. Each state is working within their state legislature, and when they have a Convention of States team working alongside them, they are passing a resolution containing the same 3 agenda items: term limits, limiting federal spending, and limiting federal jurisdiction over the states. And they are agreeing within those resolutions, within those applications, to stick to those agenda items. 2, so now first step, we're passing our resolutions. We are applying to actually hold a convention of the states. Step 2, once a minimum of 34 states have agreed to hold a convention, Congress has a ministerial role, has just kind of a very minor role of actually setting the time, place, and manner for a convention. If Congress fails to reasonably act, then we will be able to actually call our own convention. The president can't stop it. The governors of all the different states can't stop it. Congress can't stop it. A convention of states is called. Time, place, and manner to be determined. Step 3. States are allowed to choose their own methods for sending commissioners to the convention. This means that they could send 1, they could send 5, they could send 30. These commissioners, these representatives, are legal representatives of the states and of those state legislatures. They take a pledge, they take an oath, and they owe a legal duty to the state that sent them there. No matter how many commissioners sent, every state at the end of the day only has 1 vote. Step 4, almost there. Step 4, a convention of the states is simply a gathering. It's a giant meeting. It's a gathering of all the commissioners to come together to discuss and vote on all the different amendment proposals to the United States Constitution, staying within those 3 agenda items that we just talked about a minute ago. The only things they're allowed to discuss are those agenda items. They've been assigned to that. They've been charged with that. That is part of the oath that they take when they go to the convention. And that's important to note that it's important to note here that we don't know how long a convention itself is going to take. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. It took, I think, around 6 months, starting from May till about September, to actually draft the original Constitution. Okay, and so that might give us a little bit of context here. Throughout the convention, we will be able to use methods like Robert's Rules of Order. Thomas Jefferson actually wrote a book on rules of order and orderly procedure for negotiations, for how things are discussed, how things are debated, who can take turns talking when, right? Whenever you turned on C-SPAN, because all of you moms out there have all of the free time in the world to watch C-SPAN, whenever you watch C-SPAN, or whenever even just local stuff, local politics, things like that, and you see there's the very orderly and precise way that people are talking, all of that is very procedural, and that is exactly how a convention, a national convention of the states, would operate as well. So at the convention, each state will then, at the end of the convention, basically, each state will then cast their vote in support of or opposed to any different amendment proposals. When something passes with a majority vote, it still isn't legally binding. It simply gets passed out of the convention as a recommendation to the state legislatures. None of these amendment proposals have the force of law yet, because finally we have step 5. Step 5, finally, all of these amendments are then sent back. Whatever amendment proposals pass out of the convention are sent back to the state legislatures for ratification. We need 38 states, which is 3/4 of the states, to actually ratify any amendment proposals. Whew, okay. 5 steps, there you go. Now you know, moms, this is a big deal, and it does take time, and it takes patience, and it's very orderly and procedurally, and done very procedurally, and it's a very methodical way of being able to go about handling an actual convention to propose actual amendments to the Constitution. There's a lot of work for all of us to be able to do, so let's equip ourselves. Let's start with that. Let's start with the procedural knowledge of the convention process and how it can be effective. And it can be effective. It's not unknown and it's not scary. So now you know. So now you can make sure your kids know too. We'll see you next time.